So I would not be shocked at all to see us give back everything we gained today. What is going on, guys? I hope you're having a fantastic day. If you are new to the channel, we are doing a giveaway once we get to 250 subs for an Amazon gift card. So all you got to do to be entered in to win is drop a sub and leave a like, and chatting it up in the comments never hurts your chance, because I love interacting with you guys and getting your perspective on a lot of the companies that we talk about. So a lot of green in the market today, which most of the time I love, but I am in a mood where I am really actually rooting for the market to go down so I can buy some stuff up. I really would love the tech names to pull back a little bit more before I buy some more of them. But I personally think that today was in large part only an up day because we had such a nice sell-off yesterday. And if you look at all things comparative, we did not give, we were not able to pull back all of the losses that we gave yesterday. So I also like to look at the aftermarket and how a lot of stocks are moving in the aftermarket hours, because a lot of hedge funds, what they're going to do is they're going to basically ride that nice wave during the day. And then after hours, when they can sell and they can take profits or do whatever and kind of move positions around without the crazy volatility that comes during the day, it can kind of point you where things are going to open the next day. And pretty much every stock that I'm watching is after hours in the red. So this kind of gives me a gut inclination that we are going to not have a fantastic week. Could be totally wrong, but September, miserable month. You're going to have earnings for some other companies coming out later this week. Costco is on Thursday, so that's going to be an interesting one in particular to watch to see if they continue to beat earnings, or kind of like what's the deal. And that should paint a nice picture of kind of retail and where we're looking during the pandemic, and hopefully coming out of the pandemic, how is one of the major retailers doing. So like I said, a lot of this green, typically you get nice buying days when you have days of big sell-off days prior. So usually market volatility creates massive sell-off days and then buying days the next day, and then you get another massive sell-off day, and then sometimes you get another massive buying day. So I would not be shocked at all to see us give back everything we gained today. I think there's still room to fall. You have so much, uncertainty in the markets right now. The closer you get to the presidential election, people are gonna freak out. Investors are gonna get uneasy. As long as they're still in profit-taking mood, you're gonna see money come out of big tech, and those prices continue to fall. I think I'm really targeting Microsoft is the one that I have my eyes on with their big acquisition of Bethesda. They take over everybody and anybody. They have incredible contracts with the government. Like, Microsoft is the one company that I am really wanting to add to my portfolio. I got some more shares yesterday, which is in the red. I saw them in the green today. I was like, no, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to wait for the pullback. So that is my advice to you guys. Personally, I think we have more room to fall. We're going to come further down. And, Biden wants to raise corporate taxes much higher than they are now by anywhere from 8 to 10%. So that is not something that Wall Street likes to hear. Trump has said he's going to lower taxes, and now on top of that, you have all this crazy rhetoric and stuff, impeachment talk and whatnot with the Supreme Court justice nomination. So if anything, you are getting even more uncertainty when it comes to the presidential election and just the overall state of our democracy. So that is going to make investors uneasy. And then also, you've got constantly more coronavirus news and how essentially the PPE and not PPE, PPP, the protective stuff and all the financials aid that they gave to small businesses, how that has not really taken hold the way they would have liked. And a lot of these small businesses are not going to come back. So I think investors are really seeing that, hey, maybe we overbought up this rally. Maybe we sunk way too much money into tech stocks. And now we're just having a natural pullback that is due, because reality for a certain period of time was very disassociated with the stock prices. Like, if you looked outside and you went out and you just experienced everyday life, and somebody said, oh, the stock market is an all-time high, you'd be kind of scratching your heads, because how in the current state that we're in, and I live in a very conservative state, right? So I'm more opened up than anybody else is. So, I see all the restrictions that are going on here, and I know it's probably way worse in other places. I was in San Diego, and that was pretty bad, like very limited. So seeing the state that we are in as a society, lockdowns are still definitely a thing, flight capacity is being limited, and then, you hearing, okay, the stock market is an all-time high, all these tech companies are up, 100%, 200% year to date, and you're kind of scratching your head and you're, okay, the current state does not match what the, valuations and the market cap of these companies are. So, I mean, guys, I definitely think that we are slowly getting into territory where, if you have cash on the sidelines, think about buying into some stuff and quality names that you like. I would only encourage you during this time to buy quality names. Don't, in great markets and, great swings, it's okay to play more of the speculative stuff. And that was one of the reasons why I was playing Nikola at the time, was because the rest of the market was crushing it from like really May to, middle of August. I mean, you could buy anything and it would just skyrocket, right? So that was a great period of time. But as we get into this dip, I think you need to take a look at, any, big winners that you've maybe had. Maybe take a look at selling them on a good day like this if they're up and you've still made a decent amount of money, and maybe they're not paying dividends or whatever, what have you. Maybe take a look at taking profits and buying at a cheaper a point here, because I don't think anybody's going to discount the fact that we're probably not going to be at all-time highs come election time. There's going to be so much volatility. There's not going to be a winner named at the outcome on election night or anything like that. So markets are going to freak out. Wisconsin announced that they'll count mail-in votes as late as 6 days after the election. So Wisconsin is going to be a big swing state, right? So if votes are still being counted there, you're not going to know potentially a winner like a week later from the election. Markets are not going to like this. And the closer we get to election time, uncertainty, panic, all sorts of stuff like that. And if there's a super high corporate tax rate, whether you agree with all the other policies, markets, the only thing they care about is gridlock and making money, right? And then, tax rates and stuff like that. So, and that goes along in the bucket of making money. So, I mean, I don't see any way how this market is going to really finish the end of October or any time there higher than it is now. That's why I'm sitting on cash. That's why much of the reason why I sold Nikola, it's up today, and I think that's natural, along with a massive sell-off that you saw. You saw the same thing coming out of the Hindenburg news. Basically, the next day, you saw a pretty good bounce because people were like, okay, I'm going to buy the dip. And I think that's all you got today, is you just got people coming in, seeing some of these big tech names at levels they haven't been at since, end of July, beginning of August. And they're like, okay, I'll play it. These are quality names. I'll buy them. I'll stick them out. So, I think you need to do that. Get your quality names, get a certain amount of cash that you are comfortable with investing and sitting and basically letting ride for a year or two minimum, and pick out these quality names and go after them. And if you have retirement accounts that are non-taxable, or once you put any Roth account or anything like that, sit there and maybe look at building your dividend portfolio like Coke and AT&T and stuff like that, or your telecoms, right? Telecoms is gonna, I think, really explode here in the next couple years, because you got 5G, right? So as 5G and broadband and all this stuff is advancing, those companies, they're going to become, more profitable. Everybody's going to be more connected and all that stuff, like infrastructure and whatnot. So I definitely think that there are good buying opportunities out there. You just have to be patient. You have to make sure you have a decent amount of cash on hand to slowly buy the bottom. Don't just throw all the cash you have on, one stock one day and be like, all right, that's it. Definitely be smart about your approach. Buy it on the way down. Don't sit there, same thing, sell it on the way up. Don't sit there and just, cash out one day. It's called mediating or whatever. I mean, it's like, it's just finance 101. It's what you learn in school, and it helps you. It saves you the headache of feeling like you never bought at the bottom and you never sold at the top. It helps ease the stress. So that's all I'm trying to do, is help you guys ease the stress and drop some knowledge on you with today's fun fact of the day. So without further ado, we have, let's see, library and scholarly seclusion of the Dead Sea Scrolls. Pretty interesting. I mean, Google it. I don't know what that really means. I mean, go after it. I know that's a big piece of Jewish history, but you know, as far as what it means and what actually ending the scholarly seclusion of the Dead Sea Scrolls means, I have no idea. Put it into Google. Just Google today in history and you're going to see it, along with some other weird stuff. Like, it's always weird when you Google this stuff. So be glad you're not in my shoes. But if I were in your shoes, you know what I would do? I would drop a sub, leave a like, and comment it up. What do you think's going to freaking happen on Battery Day? Like, I mean, it's today. Is Elon going to blow us out of the water and announce a million mile battery? I mean, he came out tweeting, basically trying to, you know, downplay the scenario and all that stuff. So, hey, you never know. I mean, we're going to have to watch and see what it's doing. I mean, it's up in aftermarket hours right now. Who knows? Big question mark. Elon, the crazy guy. Oh, man, that is a ramble and a half. We got to get to our 10 minutes. The YouTube algorithm. All right, guys, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you tomorrow.